In the quiet glow of twilight, as the city of Athens shimmered under a canopy of stars, a young man wandered aimlessly through its streets. He had lost everything, his wealth, his future, his very identity. The world, to him, was chaos, a storm he could not escape. And yet, in this storm, he found something extraordinary, a way to not only endure but to rise. His name was Zeno of Citium, and his discovery would echo through centuries, offering hope to countless souls who would follow. This is not a story of perfection, nor is it a tale of heroes untouched by suffering. It is the story of ancient wisdom, forged in fire, tested by the harshest trials of life. Wisdom that speaks not to gods, but to the broken, the lost, and the yearning. It whispers, "You are stronger than you know," and the power to change is already within you. Today we unravel the lessons of Zeno, Epictetus, Seneca, and Marcus Aurelius, not as relics of a distant past, but as living, breathing truths that can guide us now, as we navigate our own storms. Imagine Zeno, his fortune swallowed by the sea, sitting on the steps of a humble Athenian bookstore. He listens to the words of Socrates, recited by a stranger, and in that moment he begins to see, life's true wealth is not in possessions, but in perspective. Zeno would go on to found Stoicism, a philosophy born from the ashes of his own despair. It was not about escape, but engagement, about seeing life as it is and choosing, deliberately, how to respond. Then there is Epictetus, born into slavery, his body bruised and broken by cruelty. Yet, even as chains bound his limbs, his mind soared free. "Circumstances don't make the man," he said. "They only reveal him to himself." In his teachings we find a radical idea. Freedom is not given or taken, it is claimed within. And Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, stood at the helm of an empire trembling under the weight of its own ambition. Every day he faced betrayal, war, and uncertainty. Yet, in the quiet of night, he wrote, not as a ruler, but as a man searching for meaning. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. His meditations, private reflections meant for no one else, have become a guidebook for all of us. What binds these men together is not their circumstances, but their choices. They looked into the abyss of human suffering and refused to turn away. Instead, they asked, "What can I control? What is mine to bear?" Picture Seneca, standing before a court, accused of treason. His accusers waited for fear to crack his composure, but Seneca, calm as stone, answered their accusations with reason and restraint. He did not beg, did not plead. He had already reconciled with death, not as an end, but as a transition. "As is a tale," he wrote, "so is life. Not how long it is, but how good it is what matters." The Stoics teach us this. Anxiety, fear, and anger are not external forces. They are shadows of our own judgments, illusions that grow only when we feed them. The way forward is not to fight these shadows, but to see through them. Now imagine a storm, the winds howling, the waves rising to swallow the shore. Most would flee, seek shelter, pray for the storm to pass. But the Stoic walks into it, not because they are fearless, but because they understand. The storm is not the enemy. It is the teacher. Epictetus reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This isn't resignation, it's liberation. By accepting what we cannot change, we free ourselves to focus on what we can. Marcus Aurelius speaks of the flame. What stands in the way becomes the way. The Stoic doesn't run from obstacles. They turn them into fuel. Loss becomes gratitude. Pain becomes strength. Fear becomes courage. But let us not mistake Stoicism for cold detachment. It is not a philosophy of indifference, but of profound engagement. The Stoic feels deeply, but chooses wisely. They love, but without clinging. They mourn, but without despair. When grief strikes, the Stoic does not deny its weight. They hold it, examine it, learn from it. Seneca wrote, "No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself." Adversity is not the end of joy, but the soil in which it grows. The Stoics offer us tools, not to escape life's trials, but to navigate them with clarity and grace. They teach us to pause, to breathe, to ask, "Is this within my control? If not, why let it control me?" In the end, the Stoics remind us of one simple truth: life is fleeting. Time is the one resource we cannot replenish. To waste it on anger, regret, or fear is to betray ourselves. Instead, we must live, fully, deliberately, with courage and compassion. The world will challenge you. It will test your patience, your resolve, your very identity. But within you is a strength that no storm can break. The Stoics didn't promise ease. They promised resilience. They didn't offer comfort. They offered clarity. What will you choose? To be swept away by life's chaos, or to stand firm, rooted in the wisdom of those who came before us? If this resonates with you, let it be the spark for change. Share this wisdom with others who might need it. Subscribe to this channel and join a community that seeks not perfection but growth. Together, let's rediscover the ancient truths that can guide us toward a life of purpose and peace.